I'm Dwayne Brown. Tonight on KPBS Evening Edition, the governor has a multi-million-dollar plan for California's prisons. And San Diego City Council is making plans for a special election.
I'm Amita Sharma. Congresswoman Susan Davis joins us to talk about the latest from Syria and sequestration cuts. Then later, how to get girls more interested in STEM subjects, science, technology, engineering, and math.
And San Diego's sports teams are asking fans to mind their manners. KPBS Evening Edition starts now. Hi, good evening. Thanks for joining us. Governor Jerry Brown wants to tap into California's budget reserve fund to send prison inmates to county jails and private lockups in other states. California is under a federal court order, of course, to cut the prison population by another 9,600 inmates by the end of the year. 46,000 have already been released. Brown says only the most dangerous criminals are left.
The people have got to be assured that the state and local government is protecting their safety.
We are not, any of us, willing to release an additional single prisoner. So the only way to move forward is to build...
Now, the governor's plan would cost $315 million this year and up to $700 million over 2 years. The state has $1 billion in its reserve fund. San Diego City Council meets tomorrow to schedule a special election to replace Mayor Bob Filner. The proposed election date is November 19th. Now, the nomination period would open on September 6th, and papers could be filed from the 13th to the 20th. City Clerk's office says the special election will cost $3 to $6 million. Vice President Joe Biden says there's no doubt the Syrian government used chemical weapons in an attack against rebels last week. Biden is the highest-ranking U.S. official to say so.
No one doubts that innocent men, women, and children have been the victims of chemical weapons attacks in Syria. And there is no doubt who is responsible for this heinous use of chemical weapons in Syria: the Syrian regime.
The White House says President Obama hasn't settled on how to respond, but the Pentagon says it's ready to strike if he gives the order. Syria denies using chemical weapons. PBS NewsHour will have more on the latest developments tonight at 7. Now, KPBS is inviting all members of our congressional delegation to join us for a discussion while they're on recess. Amita Sharma is in for Peggy Pico tonight, and she's joined by Congresswoman Susan Davis.
Congress returns to Washington next month, and another battle over raising the debt limit and government spending looms large. Democratic Congresswoman Susan Davis is here to talk about this and other matters affecting San Diegans. Welcome to the program.
Good to be with you. Thank you.
So it looks like a U.S. military strike against Syria is imminent, given that Secretary of State John Kerry has said that it's undeniable the use of chemical weapons by the Syrian government against its own citizens. Where do you stand on this strike?
I think we're all just working to understand this situation, frankly, because we know that the international community is not going to stand for this break with international norms. But at the same time, I think we have to ask the questions. What do we do to send that message in a way that doesn't put us in a situation that essentially is open-ended for this country? That's not something I could support, and frankly, I don't think the American people support that either.
How much do you expect Congress to be consulted on this?
Congress is in the process of being consulted now. I think some of the leaders are being consulted. But whenever we face this juncture, it's always better to be in Washington, frankly. I think that I haven't seen that the Speaker is calling for members to come back to Washington, but I think that that's actually something that should probably be done. People may not all be in their own districts, but we are certainly in communication. And at this point, there are some difficult decisions to be made, and frankly, I would just like to be part and in that loop.
It's been 6 months since federal budget cuts, also known as sequestration cuts, took effect. What's been the impact on San Diego?
San Diego, actually, because we have a large military presence here and we have a number of companies that are very engaged with defense, we have probably one of the largest number of civilian workers who are with either a defense-related company or working for the military for our national security. So it's probably been more here. It hasn't been the kind of devastation, I guess, that maybe people say they would like to see before they decide that we need to take different steps other than sequestration. I think it's been very, very bad for San Diego. I think it's been bad for our federal workers because in many ways we have people who, frankly haven't received 20% of their paycheck. They have the same expenses as everybody else, and putting that burden on them has not been the appropriate thing to do.
Well, let's talk about the future. As you know, the federal government loses its borrowing authority in mid-October. Congress returns to session next month. How big of a fight do you expect over government spending?
Well, we've seen this movie before, unfortunately, and I think that I do have colleagues who don't see a problem with the United States defaulting. I don't believe that. I think that we have to be true to that debt limit, and we have to engage and come to an agreement around that. That's not something that we should play with. We saw what happened the last time we went through this because we actually lost our credit ratings. We lost the ability to do some things in this country that we really didn't need to be dealing with. And certainly we found ourselves in sequestration. What we can do to solve this is to bring people to the budget table, to have the kind of conference committee that's necessary, have appointees from both the Senate and the House side, and look realistically at what we need to do as a country.
I want to turn your attention briefly to San Diego. Todd Gloria, San Diego City Council President, takes over as mayor with the resignation of Bob Filner. Do you want to see him run for mayor? He worked for you for several years. Do you want to see him run?
This is really Todd's decision, and I think the world of him. I had really an opportunity to watch him, not just because he worked for me, but as a young man, as part of the Aaron Price Fellows Program when he was a freshman in high school. And he has some amazing natural leadership talents, but I think more than that, he is someone who is independent in his thinking. And right now, I think all he cares about is getting San Diego working again, to look at the issues that we just haven't had a chance to deal with.
We've got to wrap it there. Susan Davis, thanks so much for coming on the program.
Nice to be with you. Thanks.
More than 100 buildings have now been burned by the Rim Fire near Yosemite. About 4,500 structures are still threatened tonight by the fire in the Sierra Nevada. It's burned 280 square miles since it started more than a week ago. It's about 20% contained tonight. Workers in the state's Employment Development Department now face layoffs. EDD plans to cut staff because it's getting less money from the federal unemployment insurance program. Now the shortfall is expected to be $150 million through next year. EDD is already cutting phone service hours, limiting overtime, and shuffling staff to save money. But workers are being told to start looking for other jobs that don't rely on federal funding. San Diego sports fans are being reminded about a code of conduct when attending sporting events. It's intended to weed out bad behavior while encouraging fans to do what they do best: cheer, chant, and pump up the home team. College fans are some of the rowdiest in San Diego sports, but some of their colorful language may not be G-rated for everyone in attendance.
Someone's trying to start a chant that's maybe offensive, they start something else, they take over and do that way. So they do a good job of self-monitoring.
Jim Sturck is the athletic director at San Diego State University. He joined executives from the Padres, Chargers, and several other universities and sports programs who want to keep a check on drinking, smoking, cussing, and throwing stuff into the stands.
We're not going to let you ruin it for someone else, and we do have to monitor. There is such a thing as free speech, and we have to work through all that. But If the experience is offensive, we're going to take action.
Mike McDowell with the San Diego Sports Commission says highlighting the rules ensures a positive experience for everyone.
And hopefully give those who are abiding by the rules also a structure from which they can say, you know, I'm seeing or experiencing behavior that just isn't acceptable. I've seen that written down somewhere.
That's when fans are encouraged to call security, and failure to comply could get you booted out the game or arrested. Now, the group says they wanted to reiterate the fan code of conduct just ahead of the official start of football season. Earlier this month, the NFL instituted a new policy limiting what fans can actually carry into the stadium. The world's premier sailing race starts next month in San Francisco, but as AP's Haven Daily reports, there are worries about this year's America's Cup.
It's considered the most prestigious and longest-running sailing race in the world, going back more than 160 years.
There's only one America's Cup.
The defending champ from the last America's Cup in 2010 got to choose the type of boat and the venue for this year's race. Oracle Team USA picked San Francisco and a high-tech catamaran which practically flies through the air on hydrofoils. A race sponsor recently gave the media a ride on a similar vessel.
These are some of the fastest sailboats in the world, some of them reaching top speeds of up to 50 miles per hour.
But it hasn't exactly been smooth sailing for the America's Cup event so far, with problems with the planning, participation levels, and the preliminary races.
We put this version of the America's Cup together in arguably the most difficult economic time we've had since the Great Depression. We had eight teams who'd signed up, wanting to be part of the America's Cup, but only 4 of those teams could actually get the resources to participate.
The 130-foot tall, 72-foot long racing yachts are not only incredibly expensive, some say they're also too dangerous. During a practice run in May, a member of the Swedish team was killed when their boat capsized.
Whether they're the right boats for the America's Cup, we need to see how the racing comes on. But they certainly are different. They're certainly cutting edge, and they're certainly amazing and magnificent, which is everything the America's Cup should be.
So far, crowds watching the Challenger races have been light, and city officials fear San Francisco will end up losing millions after Oracle's Larry Ellison sold the city on the race's economic benefits.
The thing has turned out to be a bust. Mr. Ellison has taken the city of San Francisco on a long walk off a short pier, and San Francisco taxpayers are being stuck with the bill.
Race organizers say the crowds and excitement will pick up once the America's Cup finals begin. The Best of 17 series starts September 7th. Haven Daily, Associated Press, San Francisco.
The gender gap in science and technology persists. Amitha Sharma has more on how women in San Diego high-tech careers are hoping to change that.
It's a question that's plagued educators for years. Why don't more girls pursue careers in science, technology, engineering, and math? Christy Grover from the nonprofit science education group Biocom is here to help answer the question and discuss efforts to change that dynamic. Christy, give me a breakdown. How big of a gender gap is there between men and women in the fields of science, technology, engineering, and math?
Well, what we see is about a 25% difference. Even those coming out of schools with STEM degrees, we see them not necessarily going into the life science industry, but careers such as healthcare or nursing, things of that nature. So here in San Diego, the life science industry is openly promoting women in science because we know it's integral to making those amazing innovations.
So 2 questions here. Why aren't girls choosing these areas to study? And if they are choosing these areas to study, why aren't they choosing careers in these areas?
Well, I think that what we see is at the middle school level, when there's interest about careers, there's an unintentional bias where we tend to say to young men, pursue science and technology. That really hasn't been the case for young women. But there's a rising group, such groups as STEAM. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, adding the A into STEAM. So we use different ways, using art to get young girls interested in math and science. But I think the most critical thing is seeing more mentors, more role models of women in the life science industry out there. Well, then a girl can say, I can see myself in that role. I'm going to pursue that career.
So when they do choose these fields, girls, how do they end up performing?
I think they're amazing. As we see, we have some amazing life science leaders here in San Diego. Dr. Gail Naughton, who used to be a dean at San Diego State, now CEO of Histogen, is out talking about her role. Barney and Barney, Trindle Reeves, has an active program, Grow, to promote women within her company. So we see a lot of women promoting each other outside in the industry. But the one thing to mention is that the parity of scale. Women and men are paid equally in the life science industry, and that's not a fact that a lot of people know.
How important do you think it is to have women represented in these fields?
Well, I think it's very important, and as a women leader in life sciences, it's the spark. I see these young girls, and what we have to understand is when we talk about young girls, innovation is happening right now. For instance, there was a winner of the Intel Science Fair who was a young girl who created a technology where you can charge your phone in 30 seconds. So it's not just down the road, the investment, but women are smart, young girls are smart, and we really need to, as a community, and it takes a community to really get out there and promote STEM careers to women. If we can do this together, we're going to have amazing results.
What about girls who are in all-girls schools? Do they tend to gravitate towards those fields a little bit more?
I think what you see is the natural feeling where they can raise their hands a little more, and so you may see, you know, more active role in STEM careers. But it's a problem that we have as women, and as we see the Lean In movement with Sheryl Sandberg, it really is about our voice, speaking up as women, and that has to start when we're in school all the way up into careers. We have to ask for the promotions, which men have no problem doing. We have to get out there and be thought leaders, and the more we do that, the more women, young women, will see us as role models, and they'll believe that they can do it too.
Christy Grover, we've got to wrap it there. Thanks so much for coming on the program.
Thank you so much.
There's something new over by Market Creek Plaza on Euclid Avenue, a brightly colored mural showing smiling children and vegetables. The mural is meant to send a message about healthy eating. An art student designed it, and local kids painted inside the lines to fill it with vibrant color. Community organizer Barry Pollard helped make the mural happen. He raised about $1,000 from local organizations and businesses to pay for it.
There's a lot of people that honk, that drive by. This is Euclid Avenue. It's an important and busy thoroughfare, and we see the smiles. And that's what we wanted to do, is to have someone look at this and get a positive feeling when they saw it and smile. And even when we first started this, that was the reaction we got.
The mural's been covered with a clear coating to protect it from graffiti. Mel Brooks's Young Frankenstein makes its San Diego stage premiere at Vista's Moonlight Amphitheater. KPBS arts reporter Beth Accomando stopped by a rehearsal and brings us this preview of the musical play.
Dr. Frankenstein! That's Frankenstein. My name is pronounced Frankenstein.
We're going to work with the Doctor and when Igor first meet each other. The song is called Together Again.
Director-choreographer Matthew J. Vargo is about to start a rehearsal of the Moonlight stage production of Mel Brooks's Young Frankenstein.
Let's do it.
Like Laurel and Hardy, like Coke and Bacardi, like Juliet and Romeo, ebb and flow, to and fro, together, together again.
Brooks created his film Young Frankenstein in 1974. It was an affectionate valentine to Mary Shelley's classic novel and to the Universal horror films of the 1930s. In 2007, he turned it into a Broadway musical.
It lends itself very well because each time we meet a new character, Elizabeth the fiancée, Igor, the Doctor's assistant, Frau Blucher, it is a perfect setup for them to have their song sort of introduce who their character is and what role they play in the show.
He was as crazy as a coot, still I didn't give a hoot. He was my boyfriend.
Breaking into song just seems natural for Vargo.
For me, as a dancer and a singer, it doesn't seem so crazy and far-fetched for people to do that. The reason you sing, the reason you dance is that you can't find the words to articulate what you're feeling, and so it just comes into another form of communication.
That makes sense for an uptight character like... or for Frederick, who needs to get pulled out of his shell. In the Moonlight stage production, Larry Rabin plays Frederick, the grandson of the infamous Victor von Frankenstein.
We'll make a new creature and stare the bloomin' daylight right out of us now.
The thing that's so great about this as a musical play, as opposed to just the film, is the songs take us into a whole deeper dimension into what's going on inside Dr. Frankenstein's head.
Rabin played another Mel Brooks creation, Leo Bloom, in a touring company of the producers. He sees similarities between Dr. Frankenstein and Leo.
They're both virgins when they start their journey, and they both meet a great woman that kind of turns their world around. But they're both eccentric and kind of half-baked in their own way, and the journey of each play brings them into manhood.
Rabin says Brooks's lines are an actor's dream.
They're a roadmap for comedy. It's just, his cadence is funny even on the page. And so if you just pay attention to how he wrote it, the comedy comes.
Ah, master, so you must be Igor.
No, it's pronounced Igor.
But they told me it was Igor.
Well, they were wrong then, weren't they?
Anybody who is a fan of the movie, it definitely is an homage and a love letter to the movie. So all those fantastic lines that everybody knows and characters are definitely in the show.
Perhaps I could help you with that hump.
What hump?
The four of them really, to me, are this dysfunctional family that support each other and, you know, push the buttons like all dysfunctional families do.
Here, sit, read.
The rehearsal at the Rec Center Dance Studio only hints at how the finished production will come to life. It's a process of creation, not unlike what goes on in the story.
So when the lights come up and you see that lab drop and these towers and bases and the surgery table, it's very imposing.
It's alive!
Mel Brooks's Young Frankenstein has been reanimated into an all-singing, all-dancing theatrical creation at the Moonlight Stage's beautiful outdoor amphitheater in Vista, where you too can partake in the Transylvania mania.
It's the latest craze.
Beth Accomando, KPBS News.
We're still facing more sticky weather. We may even still see some thunderstorms around the county over the next few days. Coastal forecast, partly cloudy tomorrow. Stormy weather possible on Thursday, then clouds on Friday. Warm and humid for the inland valleys with a chance of thunderstorms Thursday and Friday. That flash flood watch remains up for the mountain areas tonight, with thunderstorms expected through the week, and the same for the desert. Thunderstorms, high temperatures, and a flash flood watch. Tonight's stories are online at kpbs.org/evening edition. Thank you for joining us. Good night.